When we turned the corner, I saw all of these people.
November 14th, 1960. It was 6-year-old Ruby Bridges' first day of school at William Frantz Elementary in New Orleans.
I remember them chanting 2, 4, 6, 8, we don't want to integrate.
It had been 5 years since the U.S. Supreme Court mandated the desegregation of schools. Now Washington was putting pressure on Louisiana and other states that had yet to comply. In a veiled attempt to appear compliant, city officials in New Orleans gave 150 black kindergartners an entrance exam, one they had no chance of passing.
I am Ruby Bridges. I was only 6 years old when I became the first African-American child to integrate a white Southern elementary school. On November 14, 1960, I was escorted by my mother and U.S. Marshals due to violent mobs. When I was in kindergarten, I was one of many African-American students in New Orleans who were chosen to take a test determining whether or not I could attend a white school. It is said the test was written to be especially difficult so that students would have a hard time passing. The idea was that if all the African-American children failed the test, New Orleans schools might be able to stay segregated longer. In 1960, my parents were informed by officials from the NAACP that I was one of only 6 African-American students to pass the test, and that I would be the only African-American student to attend William Frantz School near my home. My brave act was a milestone in the civil rights movement, and I share my story with future generations in educational forums.
Mrs. Henry was the only teacher that would teach me. I mean, I didn't know what to expect from her. She looked exactly like the mob outside. She was an amazing teacher, and I knew she cared about me. And so the real lesson that I took away in first grade in that classroom is that it's the same lesson Dr. King tried to teach us. You can't judge a person by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That lesson has shaped me into the person that I am today.